So here we are at the end of day one at the Gabba, and it was a washed out day. We had some sort of play, but we could not get the entire day of the game because of weather. The rain gods played a spoil sport, and hopefully they won't return on day two. But the rest of the days are not looking as good as we had expected when we arrived in Brisbane. Devashish, a very a disappointing day for all the journalists, all the fans who had come here. More than 30,000 people turned up on day one at the Gabba. Thoughts on the weather?
Yeah, obviously it was on the expected line because there were forecast of SARS, and which was the case, and it was pouring. Literally, it was pouring. You shared a lot of pictures of the ground, means completely underwater. But the good point is that the drainage system here at the Gabba is excellent. Means in half an hour we saw the water subsiding, and yes, the groundsman did not got into work because the rain kept on pouring. It's only now that the rain has completely stopped. But yes, tomorrow the forecast is good. But come Monday till Tuesday, it's again going to be there is predictions of heavy showers. Shubhayan.
Absolutely, and we might get an interrupted session or two tomorrow as well on day two. But day 3, day 4, day 5 are not looking that great as we were expecting when we arrived in Brisbane. But it is right now, looking at the weather forecast, the weather applications here in the local weather applications, which are pretty accurate in Australia. They are not showing that level of optimism when it comes to good weather for cricket on day 3, day 4, and day 5 in particular. Day 2 we might get some game, and it would be interesting to see how the Indian bowlers come up with their plans today. Whatever over they bowled, they looked a bit scattery apart from Akashdeep. He was spot on with his line and length, but Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj, I think they bowled a tad too short, and even Jasprit Bumrah was signaling there's not much seam movement, and he was struggling to get that perfect line which he had bowled in Perth, especially. Devashish da?
Shubhayan, I would have hoped that Akashdeep would have shared the new ball with Jasprit Bumrah, because out of the 3 bowlers you mentioned, I think he was he bowled the best, kept a perfect line and length. Obviously there was a few misses, but then
he made the batters play.
Exactly, he made the batters play. But come tomorrow, a new day. So one would hope that, and only 13 overs were bowled in that half an hour game time. Right. So one would hope that India will take a lesson from the mistakes they committed today and come back strongly. Because remember, Rohit Sharma has won a very important toss given the weather forecast, and has decided to bowl first. I have no doubt whatsoever Pat Cummins would have done so had he won the toss. So it depends on how the Indians bowl tomorrow, because with the weather playing a forecast for the remaining few days, it goes to be seen whether India can bowl out Australia for a paltry score. Shubhayan.
Devashish, looking at the weather forecast for the remaining days, do you think we will get a result from this match? Because I was speaking to a few local reporters, Australian reporters, some from Brisbane as well, and they are saying, no mate, this is going to be a draw. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I also don't think that we would be getting a result until and unless there is a complete batting failure from one side. But then everything to play for the Boxing Day test sold out on day one. 90,000 spectators at the G, and what an occasion will it be? Means 1-1 series level, and both the teams will travel to Melbourne and then to Sydney. So whichever teams, obviously one would hope that the series remains 2-2, and in that case India will retain the Border Gavaskar trophy.
Oh, that would be something great. But if we are looking forward to Melbourne right now, then not only India and Australia will be in full force, but Team Revsportz, the entire pack will be arriving in Melbourne. So we'll give you extensive coverage. We are already giving you extensive coverage, but the coverage will get better and bigger when Boryada and others also arrive in Melbourne for the Boxing Day test. And as Devashish said, Boxing Day test in Australia at the G, it's going to be special. But right now, I am leaving you with overcast sky right now. It is not looking great in terms of weather forecast for the remainder of the test match here at the Gabba. So let's hope, let's pray, and let's see if we can get a result out of this third test match between India and Australia. So this was Devashish Sen with me, Shubhayan Chakravarti, signing off for now from the Gabba.